There is something almost no man truly understands, and it is exactly why so many fail when they try to leave a deep, lasting impact on a woman. Her pleasure does not begin when you touch her body. It begins the moment you awaken something inside her mind. Most men never learn this. They believe pleasure is about technique, performance, stamina, or physical skill. But in reality, the men who leave the deepest imprint on a woman are the ones who know how to activate three invisible switches inside the female psyche. Switches that allow her body to soften, open, and desire long before any physical contact ever happens. And this is where the silent struggle of the modern man lives. He can attract attention, but not permanence. He can spark chemistry, but not depth. He can get dates, but not that lingering feeling that makes her lie awake at night thinking about him, remembering his voice, the way he looked at her, the energy he carried. He fears being forgotten. He fears being replaced by someone more daring. He fears becoming the nice guy who leaves no emotional trace. He tries to do everything correctly, but precisely because he tries so hard, he collapses. David Data explains that female pleasure blooms through polarity. When a man fully inhabits his masculine energy, direction, presence, grounded depth, the woman naturally relaxes into her feminine state of feeling, surrender, and pleasure. Most men never create this polarity. They cannot sustain presence. They fail to generate contrast. They lack depth. They attempt to seduce with words, compliments, humor, but never with what truly ignites the female body. A masculine emotional state that makes her feel seen, desired, and safe at the same time. These are the invisible switches very few men ever learn to activate. And even those who doubt this truth cannot ignore the science. Neuroscience shows that desire, anticipation, and passion activate reward and dopamine circuits in the brain long before physical touch occurs. Harvard research confirms that dopamine is what causes the brain to associate a person with intense pleasure. It is not language, it is not logic, it is biochemistry. When you trigger the right internal signals, her brain does the work automatically. When you fail to trigger them, no technique, charm, or effort will compensate. What you are about to learn is simple and ruthless. There are three switches of female pleasure that radically change how a woman responds to your gaze, your silence, and your touch. Three codes most men never apply consciously. And because of that, they lose the chance to become unforgettable. Today, you will understand how these switches function, why they create deep desire, and how to apply each one naturally, intensely, and without force. This is a turning point, the moment you shift from trying to impress to being remembered, the difference between being just another experience and being the impact. When you learn to activate these switches, you no longer chase, compete, or perform. You simply occupy your place as a man, and her mind responds on its own. Switch 1 is focused attention, the pleasure of being fully perceived. There is one factor that separates the man who awakens deep pleasure from the one who fades into the background: presence. Not physical presence, but attentional presence. Most men are near a woman but not with her. Their eyes drift to their phone, their body turns away, their answers lack intention, their movements are restless. Every distraction sends the same unspoken message: you are replaceable. This single mistake kills desire before connection even forms. A woman instantly feels when she is not being truly perceived, and this is one of the greatest thieves of pleasure that exists. The application is direct. When you are with her, remove distractions. Phone face down, body oriented toward her, breathing slowed, listening sharpened. Her pleasure begins exactly here. There is a powerful psychological mechanism many ignore. Women experience emotional pleasure when they sense a man's full focus. Studies on attraction and flirting reveal that genuine connection is marked by aligned rhythm, steady eye contact, synchronized laughter, and undivided attention. This opens her emotionally almost immediately, but it only happens when a man observes before speaking, senses before reacting, and feels before commenting. Instead of trying to impress with prepared stories, ask a few meaningful questions and read her signals. The lingering gaze, the softened smile, the subtle change in her breath. This is how you flip the switch of being seen. What surprises most men is that pleasure does not come from verbal skill. It comes from the rarity of attention. Women bond when they feel a man notices what others miss. The way she plays with her hair when curious, the micro expression that appears when she feels safe, the light in her eyes when something matters to her. Her body responds to this awareness. The feeling becomes, he is here with me, he notices me, he understands my rhythm. The application is simple, name details not to flatter, but to demonstrate perception. Science supports this. Research on attraction shows that active listening and embodied presence increase perceived emotional value. People are drawn to those who observe calmly, without anxiety or internal competition. When your movements slow, when your posture remains open, when your gaze is steady without pressure, your body communicates connection. The method is concrete. In the first 10 minutes, do not try to be interesting. Be perceptive. Read her tone, pace, body language, and energy. Only after that do you reveal yourself. This inversion activates the first switch of female pleasure, the pleasure of being seen, felt, and chosen. Once it turns on, everything that follows intensifies because her body has already begun to open.